Hi, I'm Brianna Fitter-Oates, and I'm here to talk to you today about Tiger King and what is ethically and morally wrong with the show. This is just intended to be a fun, interesting speech. Um, Tiger King right now is currently the most popular show in America, but why is that? It is very cruel and appalling. I can say that I have been one of those people that have been binge watching the entire show because, you watch it and it catches your attention. It is crazy. If you haven't watched it yet, I definitely recommend it. It's 7 episodes, so about 7 hours long. Um, Today we're just going to talk about everything ethically wrong with the show Tiger King. First, we are going to talk about Joe Exotic, who's basically the main character in the show, but it does go off into other specific people. They call them cat people or big cat people who are just crazy. Um, we'll talk first. We'll start off that he is a gay man from Oklahoma. He's the former owner of GW Zoo. First, we will start out with his relationships that he is in. He said himself that he specifically looks for young men between the ages of 17 to 19. He wants the ones who are into drugs or have a drug problem because he promises them drugs. And he's specifically into straight men. So he gets these young straight guys promising them drugs and brings them into the zoo and marries them. Um, he He's currently in jail serving a 22-year sentence in federal prison for attempting to hire someone to murder his nemesis named Carole Baskin. One of his lovers killed himself because he couldn't handle the pressure that Joe was putting on him anymore, and his drug problem was getting pretty bad. He said that he takes good care of his animals, but in the show, one of these elderly neighbors brought him her horse that she couldn't take care of anymore. And he was like, "Yeah, that's fine. I'll take care of the horse. I promise you." Instead of taking care of the horse, as soon as she left, he shot the horse and said, "Okay, perfect. Now I have tiger meat." His former employees also said that he would kill tigers that were still healthy, even though he said he was just putting them down. He wasn't. He would just go in the back and shoot them. I think it's a good thing that he is in prison now because this is one less person out there that is an animal abuser. Next, we're going to talk about Doc. He is another crazy cat person on the show. He is known for luring in young women. So he's at the opposite end of Joe. Instead of luring in young men, he lures in young women. He convinces them to sleep with him because it will enlighten them once they do sleep with him. And he specifically makes sure that they are virgins or close to virgins, as in they've only slept with one other person. Once they are there, they work 100-hour weeks and don't get breaks and get paid very little because they're told that they are with him and that they're enlightened and that everything is good and well, so they can't really leave the zoo. They're in a mindset that this is good for them. So he's basically running a cult. Now we'll go into Carole Baskin. She seems to be one of the good people taking care of the tigers. She has a sanctuary for them. She also doesn't kill her tigers. She lets them die naturally. But she doesn't pay her workers at all. We'll say she's very good at marketing. Her whole business is that the people come to work for her volunteering, but they're working 7 days a week, several hours a week. They don't get holidays off, and they're doing this to get higher and higher and higher up in the volunteering scale. But they think it's a good thing because they're taking care of these animals that they wouldn't have a chance to take care of otherwise. What's interesting about her is that people are convinced that she killed her former husband. Now, just one day, he disappeared. He has a lot of money, and as soon as her 2 years was up, she legally pronounced him dead, and all the money went into her estate, and she left very little to his family, and she got all of it and then remarried as soon as she could. They still haven't figured out if he's dead or not. They never found his body, so people are convinced that she killed him. The show is very popular to the American audience because it catches our eyes. The crazier and more outlandish, the more interesting it is to us. On its face, Tiger King is about a remarkable subculture in the US, people who collect and illegally breed these big cats. The show reveals early on, more privately owned tigers living in America than there are existing in the wild, kept in independent zoos and parks across the country. If the people drawn to the tigers have shared quality, Tiger King emphasizes its extroversion, which illustrates in one scene with the footage of Doc Antle riding an elephant into town while opening in the voiceover about the primordial calligraphy of exotic animals. The show itself is very eye-catching and just crazy in general. I highly recommend it. Thank you for coming and listening to my speech. Have a nice day.